impressions? You got a quarterback that's returning. He's one of the top quarterbacks in college football, according to the Heisman voting and everything. How confident do you feel going in with number 4?
Very confident. He's an extremely talented kid. I think more than anything, he's just a great person. I've really enjoyed getting to know him, his family. Obviously, everybody knows the talent, the explosiveness as a passer. Obviously, he's very electric as a runner as well. But I've just enjoyed getting to know him as a person. What his history's been, what his journey has been. Just his journey. What has gotten him to this point. But if you ask me how confident I am, I'll tell you very. There's a lot of work to be done still as a group. Not just as a quarterback group, but as a whole offense. But yeah, the kid's a special player for sure and a special person. I've really enjoyed getting to know him and getting a chance to coach him. I feel very lucky.
Over here with Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Great name.
Thank you.
Yeah, way to go.
Like your name as well.
Thank you.
For you being a former quarterback yourself, how does that help you understand what they're going through and help you coach and inform your coaching?
I think that's a great question. I certainly had some ups and downs in my career as a player. And so I think that journey for me has helped me connect with the kids that I've coached. I've shared my story with them, and there will be more, experiences that you share with your players to try to motivate them, connect with them, try to get the best out of them. And so I think, playing quarterback at this level is a small fraternity of people, and the things that come with that, I think only a few people can fully understand what that experience is like. And I don't think, no two people or no two journeys are the same, no two schools, no two careers, but I think there's some similarities. Everybody goes through adversity. Everybody has good moments and bad moments, and kind of how you handle those, the experiences you gain, the wisdom you learn from that. I think, that's our job as coaches, to try to get the best out of the players, and I think sharing your story is certainly helpful and helps you connect with them. A lot of Nicks here. Yeah, way to go. This is awesome.
I was just going to roll.
Yeah, we'll let the Knicks go first.
I like that. Can you kind of talk us through your transition to Tuscaloosa and kind of what you thought when you found out that you'd be potentially the offensive coordinator?
Well, there's so much work to be done. You don't have much time to really reflect on it. You just kind of get to work. That's kind of that's what all coaches do. And so, as far as any reflection goes, there hasn't been much of that. We've just been waking up early and staying up late and trying to build relationships with the players, but also make sure that our football is clean and fundamentally sound, and the communication between the staff, because we've had some moving pieces there, make sure we get all on the same page before we present it to the players. So, couple that with recruiting, and developing those relationships with families, all grades, all areas of the country, all positions. Yeah, we certainly have been busy, but it's fun. We love to do this. And so, I know everybody on staff feels very fortunate, very blessed, to be at Alabama.
Coach, what are the 2 biggest objectives for the offense this spring?
I think number 1, to install our systems, the scheme that's involved, and then number 2, to make sure that our style of play, that we're executing those plays with the right mentality and the right mindset. There's certainly fundamentals involved in both of those areas, but knowing what to do and how to do it, that's really what we're focusing on this spring.
Cody. Oh, Kennington, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Noticed that Caleb Odom was working with the receivers. I was just kind of curious, 1, what went into the decision to, obviously the position switch, and then 2, what have you seen from him through these first few practices?
Yeah, I think with Caleb, we're just trying to, put him in a position to be successful early on in his career. He's a big kid. He's very athletic. He's very explosive. He's got a great frame. How his body grows and what he turns into being, when he's, 20, 21, 22 years old, I think time will tell. He certainly runs plenty good enough to play wide receiver. He runs very well. He's a big target. And so we just try to put him in a position early on, to try not to run into 275-pound people, put him in a position so he could have success. And I think there's so much versatility in our offense. There's so much interpositional responsibilities where tight ends and wide receivers or running backs, everyone's being taught conceptually what we're trying to do. And so there's good teaching and learning occurring there, and just trying to utilize his strengths, put him in a position to be successful. And he's been great. He comes from a great program. He's accustomed to playing football at a high level. And so the moment hasn't been too big with him. He's fit right in. You know, obviously we had a chance to watch some bowl prep when we first got here. There were moments of him competing at a high level against really good competition, you know, in his time here at Alabama. And so that's really, you know, transitioned to spring. He's got a long way to go, a lot to learn, but he's eager, he's willing, likes to be coached, cares about football. So we're excited about him for sure.
Yeah. Following on that same theme, within the tight end room, what's been your impressions of that group and how they might be utilized in the offense?
Yeah, I think, you know, that group from just a mindset standpoint has been excellent. You know, I always think that the tight end position, really their mentality and their work habits, the physicality that they play with, the effort that they play with, you know, they connect with multiple positions, right? They play in the box, they play on the perimeter, and so kind of their energy and their vibe that they, you know, bring every day to practice, it can be infectious. And I've been really pleased with that group. They're kids that love football, that want to work, they care about this place, they care about their teammates, and you know, they have an excellent coach in Brian Ellis. And so they've taken to that coaching, and I see improvement, you know, each and every day because their mindset has been so good, you know. And so top to bottom, that's been a great group. You know, how they're utilized, time will tell. You know, our job as coaches for any position, you know, is to find what they do well and let them do that as many times as possible. And our offense has so much variety and the ability to adapt. You know, time will tell what each of their roles are, but certainly there's good players in that room.
Just wanted to ask for your impressions of the running back room, and then also how significant is it to have a guy like Coach Gillespie back to lead those guys?
Well, I'll start with the coach. You know, I've known Coach Gillespie for, you know, a handful of years now. We worked together at Tennessee, and I thought the world of him then, and I feel the same way now, you know. And his family's great too, you know. So one of his daughters has the same birthday as I do, so there's a connection with our families there. But he's as good as it gets. You know, he's demanding with his players. He creates great relationships with his players. His track record speaks for itself, and he's been phenomenal. You know, he has great relationships with not just his room, but, you know, guys across different positions, you know, throughout the team. And so his experience here, his knowledge here, his ability for us, you know, to help us kind of connect with some of the kids has been fantastic. Not to mention he's a phenomenal football coach. So I can't think of any other, you know, I mean, he's phenomenal. So he's excellent. And then the room, kids are great, hardworking, very talented, big, strong, physical, you know, everything you would hope for, you know, in a running back room, and more than one. And so making sure that they understand all areas of our offense. You know, we're going to ask them to do different things, trying to find out what they do best, but certainly protecting the football, running the ball, pass protection, catching it out of the backfield. It's a group that can do all those things.
Johnny, we got time for a few more. I'm not going to get to everybody, guys, this morning.
Hey, Nick, I know it's only March 8th of spring practice, but is the expectation that you will call plays come the fall?
Yes, that is the expectation, but I'd let Coach DeBoer handle that. He's trying to get me here early, so yeah, that would be the expectation.
Tony, two more.
You mentioned Jalen's character. Just how important was it to keep him as a leader, and then also to keep the offense together in terms of just keeping him and having him return?
I think it was important for us to you know, keep all the kids. I mean, certainly the quarterback, that's important. You know, the leadership that position naturally has, and the impact they have on the rest of the roster and the team, I think, is super important. And obviously, Jalen's presence on our team is impactful. You know, so I would say very important.
Finish up, Steve.
Having Jeremy Bernard here, Coach, his toughness, how does he fit into this room here, coming from Washington?
Yeah, we've had, you know, history with Germ. Great kid, great family, loves football, tough, competitive. You know, excited about being here. You know, I think Jeremy is excited about being around other like-minded people that you know, care about football and want to be the very best that they can be. So, you know, him and the rest of the wide receivers have a great coach, and they're getting better each and every day. And that relationship between those groups, quarterbacks and wide receivers, is building and growing each and every day. So, yeah, we're glad he's here.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.